I was just listening to Rhonda and Farrell Pickering talking about the crucifixion of Jesus Christ being in 33 AD. Unfortunately, that year doesn't actually fit with all the numbers like they keep on saying. Farrell likes to say, I think a lot. He does think lots and lots and lots, but he doesn't have all the information. King Herod, the one that issued the edict to murder all of the children under the age of 2, died in 3 BC. That's a historical fact. So if what Farrell Pickering and Rhonda Pickering are saying, Herod would have been in the grave for 3 years by the time Jesus was born. See, it doesn't fit. What does fit with beginning his ministry at 30 years old, which is how old you had to be a rabbi, which Jesus was a rabbi. You had to be married for one, but you also had to be 30 to start your ministry. Well, if Jesus was born before King Herod, 2 years in 5 BC, you would have his death, or the beginning of his ministry, in 25 AD, and his death on the 1st of Nisan in the year 28 AD. And this actually works because in the year 28 AD, the 1st of Nisan was on what we would call a Wednesday. And the reason why this works with these numbers is because that year there was 3 days between the first, or the day of Passover or Pesach, and the day of first fruits, which is always on the first Sunday after Pesach or Passover. So Jesus Christ started his ministry in 25 AD, had a 3-year ministry, and died on the 1st of Nisan, which would have been a Wednesday according to our numbering of weeks. They didn't have, they didn't call it Wednesday, but it's the same day. So he's put to death before sundown on the high Sabbath of Passover. When sundown hits, that's when they sacrifice the lambs. And that's when they begin their Pesach or Passover meals. He would have been in the grave shortly before sundown. Because remember, they had to hurry up and get him in that tomb. It was because the day, the high Sabbath of first fruits was about to take place at sunset. So he was crucified with the Paschal or Passover lambs, and he was in the tomb Wednesday night to Thursday night, which is 1 day. Thursday night to Friday night, which is 1 day, and Friday night to Saturday night, which is 1 day. That's 3 days and 3 nights in the tomb. Mary couldn't go out and get the things that she needed to prepare her husband's body. I'm talking about Mary Magdalene, who's the first person that saw the resurrected Lord. So she had to wait. Sabbath, the high Sabbath, couldn't go get that on, and that was for a 24-hour period from Wednesday night to Thursday night. The markets were not open on Thursday night, so she had to wait till Friday during the day to go and get the things that she needed to anoint his dead body. She was not able to do that and get back to the tomb in time to do it properly before the beginning of the weekly Sabbath, which is Friday night at sundown. So she had to wait from Friday night to Saturday night before she was able to go to do that work because it was the weekly Sabbath. So she had to wait till shortly after sunset, while it was still dark, which is a key phrase in the New Testament. She went out by lamplight to where the tomb was, and she saw the angels tell her, "Why do you look for the living among the dead? He is not here, he has risen." That was at night still. Okay, now we think of angels in a certain sense, but there's a scripture in the New Testament that says, "Be not forgetful to entertain strangers, for thereby some have entertained angels unaware." So I believe that she saw these two guys that were there, but they were not in their glory, that she saw them as men. So she sees these two guys, and they say, "Why do you look for the living among the dead? He's not here, he's risen." So she's distraught because she's not understanding what's really going on here. And then she goes wherever she goes, but she comes back to the garden tomb on Sunday morning, and that's when Jesus says, he says what he says. I can't remember exactly what it is, but when he says Mary, or Miriam, which was her real name, her Hebrew name was Miriam, she turned and looked at him because she recognized his voice, and she ran to him, and that's why in the Joseph Smith translation it says, "Hold me not, for I have not yet ascended to my Father, but go unto my brethren and say unto them, I ascend unto my Father and to your Father, and unto my God and unto your God," or my Elohim and your Elohim. So Jesus Christ first appears to Miriam, or Mary Magdalene, his wife, and and then he goes to present himself to the Father, to our Father and your Father. His father. That's Father Adam, who is Michael, and to my God and to your God, and that is the Father above Michael. So he presents himself on the day of first fruits to his Father and also his God. So, which Adam is our common father. But anyway, so when Rhonda and Farrell Pickering come up with these conjunctions and the signs and the stars and all the things, they're forgetting that King Herod is historically factual, that he died in the year 3 BC, and he put to death all of the children under 2 years of age, because that's how old Jesus was near that time in Jesus' life. So he would have been born in 5 BC, which puts his ministry at the age of 30 at 25 BC, and his crucifixion in 28 AD, which fits. The other years don't fit with the 3 days and 3 nights in the tomb. It just doesn't fit. It doesn't fit with the calendar. It doesn't fit with King Herod, but with like 33 AD. And I don't care if Paul the Apostle or even Joseph Smith says anything other than what I'm telling you now, because what I'm telling you now is factual. So I'm glad I was able to make this video. Follow me on TikTok and look for Red Pill Mormon, and you can follow me on YouTube by typing in youtube.com/user/God is my compass, or searching for the channel Zion's Redemption Radio Network. You can also follow me on Facebook by going to search groups, and look for LDS Last Days Prophecy and Gospel Discussions. There's 10,700 people in that group, and that is the group that I am the main admin of. And there's a bunch of other ones too, but that's the main group. So, all right, well, thank you for listening to this, and if you have any questions or comments, address me in that Facebook group, and I will respond to you. And then if you want, you can follow me or send me a message and a friend request, and I will look at them and get back to you. So thank you for watching. Take care, everyone. God bless, and goodbye.